Hello guys, in today's video, we're gonna check out the best gaming PC build in this year. I made this list based on my personal opinion, and I've tried to list them based on their price, quality, durability, and many more. To find out more information about these gaming PC build, you can check out the description below. If you want to get a best quality gaming PC build according to your needs, then watch the video till the end and then decide to buy. At the first position of our list, we have Intel Core in an i10900K. The Intel Core in an i10900K is no longer the world's fastest gaming processor, but the newer Core in an i11900K is not one we would recommend to anyone looking to build an extreme gaming PC. You could argue that the AMD Ryzen 9 5950X is more deserving of a place in an extreme PC build thanks to its 16 cores and 32 threads of processing power. But it can still be tricky to find in the wild, so Intel's top CPU is still your best option. Intel's historic gaming performance lead is still intact, if only just, and the 10900K, with its 5.3 GHz all-core overclocking chops, is still the king when it comes to pure frame rates. You'll need a decent motherboard, some serious cooling, and a powerful PSU to get the most from it, but that's what this build is all about. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Asus ROG Maximus Roman 12 Extreme. If the CPU is your new PC brain, the motherboard is the nervous system and other vital organs that keep things running smoothly. Skimp on a motherboard at your peril. The Asus ROG Maximus Roman 12 Extreme employs the Z490 chipset, which means it's primed to handle Intel's 10th gen processors. There are no less than 4 M.2 slots for you to play around with, 2 on its ingenious DIMM2 riser board, and it also offers up support for Thunderbolt 3 on another add-in card with 2 mini DisplayPort connectors. On top of that, you get access to cutting-edge networking goodness too, including 10 Gbps and 2.5 Gbps Ethernet as well as Wi-Fi 6, aka 802.11x wireless connectivity. There are tons of USB ports, and of course, its RGB lighting works with a bunch of Aura-Sync-compatible peripherals. The number 3 position is held by Nzxt Kraken X62. This rig has a beastly CPU, and yes, it needs overclocking. Liquid cooling is highly recommended when you're trying to get the most out of Intel's unlocked enthusiast chips, and the 10th gen Core in an E processors require it. The Nzxt Kraken X62 is an impressive piece of kit and works with all major platforms. It's reasonably easy to install and features a large 200 ATEM radiator with a pair of 100 Fortum fans. Once everything is installed, having a small water block on your CPU instead of a massive air cooler makes things look much cleaner. You'll need a large case capable housing the radiator, naturally, which we already took care of above. But even with the X62, you may run into thermal limitations. If you're serious about pushing the Mini 10900K to its limits, you'll want to consider going with a fully custom liquid cooling loop. That's beyond this buying guide scope. But know that even a good AIO cooler likely won't allow maximum overclock with the Inani 10900K. Next at number 4 we have GeForce RTX 3080 Ti 12GB. The GeForce RTX 3080 Ti essentially offers the same gaming performance as the RTX 3090 but costs $300 less. Even here, with our extreme build, we can't help but keep a vague eye on value for money, and with the release of the 3080 Ti, Nvidia has basically retired the RTX 3090 when it comes to gaming. The RTX 3080 Ti is still a $1,200 graphics card, and that's if you net the Founders Edition and not a pricier third-party job. It's hardly a budget option. The only reason you might want to track down an RTX 3090 still is if you want to pair up your graphics cards, as at least for NVIDIA Ampere, the RTX 3090 is your only option for dual GPU action. Even with that installed, you'll still have to worry about whether the games you play will use both GPU. Hint, most don't, and support is only dwindling further as time marches on. Comparisons to the RTX 3090 aside, the key consideration for the RTX 3080 Ti is that it is a supremely capable card for 4K gaming. Even ray tracing is on the table, especially if you're happy to turn on the modern magic that is DLSS 2.0. Frame rates are smooth, and the final image quality stands up to scrutiny without issue. The number 5 position is held by G.Skill 32GB TridentZ DDR4 3200 RGB. You could put more memory into this build, up to 64 GB. But Fork's 8GB DDR4 3200 is more than sufficient for gaming. There are many memory options, and speed is more about bragging rights than actual performance, but we love the look of G.Skill's TridentZ RGB sticks. RAM prices have been dropping lately, which means a 32GB kit can be had for well under $200. Besides G.Skill, we recommend Corsair, Kingston, HyperX, Crucial, Adata, and Team as safe picks. RAM has reached the point where most modules work well, so it's often a question of price and color if that's your thing rather than minuscule performance differences. Higher clock DDR4 might add a percentage to the overall performance, but the money is usually better spent on a faster CPU or GPU or a larger SSD, unless you are going for record overclocks, in which case, go nuts on the fastest DDR4 you can find. The number 6 position is dominated by Sabrent Rocket Q 4TB. We've been pretty scathing about QLCS SDS in the past, even recently with Samsung's 870 QVO. But it seems that if you match the cheapest, slowest form of SSD memory with a high capacity and an M2 interface, some magic happens. The Sabrent Rocket Q 4TB drive packs a huge amount of storage into an SSD the size of a stick of gum and still maintains performance on par with MLC drives. The Sabrent is not quite as bandwidth-friendly as some other PCIe 4.0 drives, but without platform-wide PCIe 4.0 support on our chosen combination of CPU and motherboard, that speed would only go to waste. The Sabrent speed and capacity mean you can have a fast, capacious SSD boot drive without having to pick a slower option for data storage. If you're capturing a lot of footage or want to have all your games installed at any one point, the Sabrent Rocket Q is a genuinely impressive drive. And if you want it to go all out, there's a similarly spectacular Sabrent Rocket Q 8TB drive too, though that is around. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Evga Supernova 1000 G5. A wise man once told us never to underestimate the power of the dark supply, or something like that. The point is, you don't want a crappy PSU taking down the rest of your rig, and when you're putting together the best PC possible, that means getting an equally bodacious power supply. The Evga Supernova 1000 G5 is a great option to build an extreme rig around when it comes to power supplies. If the name hasn't given it away already, the sucker offers up 1000 W of power for your extreme build to turn into super smooth gaming experiences. And you'll need most of that, as the NME 10900K and Z490 motherboard can draw a hell of a lot of power under load, and the RTX 3080 Ti is no wallflower either, and power draw only goes up if you run the CPU and GPU overclocked, which is the point of an extreme build. If you only plan to run a more modest GPU or a lower tier CPU, like the Iceman 10700K, Evga Supernova 850 T2 is a great alternative that will save some money. If you want to save even more, the Supernova 850 P2 costs about $50, PS 50 less, and is every bit as good. But saving money isn't the objective here. Finally, the number 8 position is dominated by Corsair Obsidian 1000D. The Corsair Obsidian Series 1000D is a behemoth of a PC case, ready to house the biggest and baddest systems. Standing tall at a staggering 27.3 inches, the Super Tower boasts enough space to house 18 fans and up to 4 massive radiators installed simultaneously. The 1000D features a unique triple-chamber design with convenient French door-styled storage compartments and telescoping radiator trays for easy installation in addition to the stellar cooling support. Because it is 2021, of course, there's also an RGB-lit front panel I/O with built-in smart lighting and fan control courtesy of Corsair's integrated Commander Pro controller. The Obsidian 900D has long been a top choice for massive, over-the-top builds, and it only fits that the 1000D was designed to knock it off its throne. That's all for today. We upload all types of gaming products review videos every single day. So, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.